For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
Oh, we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door. Tell them I'm hungry.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
What you doing, DVP, man?
You know you up to no good.
Yeah, I see that. Look what he did already.
Look at it. He trying to be slick.
Yeah, he's a slick. He got me in the middle too with the big screen too. Look at that.
You the man. You running the show tonight.
don't let it fool you, baby.
Don't let it fool you.
Don't let it fool you. What's up, Mark?
Ain't that much, man. Chilling here in sunny. What's it, man? South of San Antonio.
Oh, okay. Oh, you traveling, huh?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. No, as a matter of fact, I had a subject about that. I want to talk about that. I was going to talk about the benefits of traveling. You know, just kind of kick that around and where have you gone and the benefits that you got from it. You know, those kind of things.
Oh yeah, we can definitely do that. We can do that. I want to talk about voting for a hot second.
Oh, go ahead then.
You say go ahead. It's funny with DVP not coming on with this minute and a half monologue. There's a difference.
we can do a monologue. Go ahead, man. Start a monologue.
I guess I will since they ain't here. So I guess we'll talk about this voting thing. Right now we're in the thick of things with voting and them with them overturning the 1965 voting rights, which is it's crazy, but I think people going to the extreme talking about we ain't gonna be able to vote no more. I think that's just putting all this fear in people that don't know nothing about the system and voting. We ain't going back to slavery. We ain't going back to not voting. It just ain't finna happen. But I think people say it and just get an uproar, and then it just be repeated and repeated and repeated. And the people that's repeating it have not did a lick of research on what's actually going on.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that, Mark. Most of the people that are panicking and saying those kind of things, I bet you they don't even vote. One, they don't even vote, or they're not students of voting. So
Yeah,
you don't even really know what kind of impact that's gonna have, or whatever. But usually though, I can't say they 100% wrong, because usually when there's changes like that, it's to benefit the administration, not the people. So there's something up the sleeve, something going on.
and then that just means that when the next regime that take place, that keep screaming, vote for me, and we gonna stop this, stop that, then we definitely get to see if they're gonna stop it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
If it's just all verbal rhetoric just to get a vote.
Yeah, and that I got a problem with that, because it's like, so think about this, right? This is my analogy. I'm at work, I'm doing a job, and they won't promote me until I can show and prove that I could do the next level job, right?
Mhm.
They ain't gonna give me a promotion, because you gotta show and prove that you can work on the next level, so you can make the move. But with the president, all you got to do is be a good mouthpiece, make some promises. You ain't got to show nothing, man.
But that's any politician.
Yeah, right. So that's what I'm saying. I got a problem with the whole thing, and so it's like, I think they gotta like revamp that, man. We need to see your resume, man. You know what I'm saying? And not just what you're gonna do, because all of them love to talk about what we're gonna do, or I put together a plan, or this or that. Man, I don't want to see no plans. I don't want to know what you're gonna do. What have you done? What have you
And
done?
that is true, because I know when certain president was in office, Obama was in office, it was, I'm gonna do this, and then I can't do nothing. I'm not black people president. I'm everybody's president, and I'm cool with being everybody's president. But do something. Even when Biden got in office, it was always, the House and the Senate, they blocking it. We can't do this, we can't do that. Now this clown get in office and do everything he said he was gonna do.
And I'm disagreeing with you on that. I'm cool with everybody's president. I'm gonna tell you why I say that, because what happened was he sided with the corporations over the people, and when you remember all of the housing prices dropped, and they pulled everybody's homeowner equity line of credit, and all Obama did was say, let me bail out big business. Forget the people. I'm bailing out the banks and big people. And so yeah, that everybody's president. Not for he wasn't. He was for a minute. You're right though. He was for a minute, because I was like, yeah, man, we got a black man in there. You got a black family. He's doing black things, and then all of a sudden, fooled.
I think we jumped in there thinking he was gonna be ours. Hey, Sherry Crawford, how you doing? I think when he jumped in, we wanted him to do exactly what Trump is doing for his people. And right. With excuse after excuse. We wanted him to be black president. We wanted him to make changes for blacks that's going to be beneficial to blacks, and he didn't do it. And all he did was made excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. All politicians, I hate to say it, all Democratic politicians do. They say we can't do it. They stopping us from doing this. But like I said, that fool in office doing exactly. I'm gonna make y'all stop me doing what I'm doing. He got a whole attitude. I told y'all I was gonna do it.
Yeah.
The court say you can't do that. I'm gonna do it anyway.
Watch. What you gonna do?
You see what I'm saying? And that's the craziest thing. And I hope that the next person that get in office has that same attitude. I'm gonna make you stop me from doing what I want to do.
Right. Yeah. I don't think there's a way to do that. To tell you the truth, if he's in command of the military and and everything that would be able to harm him, if he's in charge of those things, what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do? It's not going. By I guess I say arm's length. He's in charge of the courts and everything. So I don't know what you're gonna do. You know.
It's just that and this is I I have to admire this, and I say this it makes sense. Stop hiring these super professionals, these super people that are all these different accolades. I got this, I got a master's here, I got this, I did this, and have some peons that are gonna do exactly what you tell them to do.
Yeah.
If they gonna push your agenda, I could care less what kind of accolades they got, because they're pushing your agenda. You say, hey, this is what I want to do. We put Bubba from the gas station right there to do it. We ain't gotta have this overqualified person to do these things. If you want to get it done, and that way you ain't got to worry about, man, they going against what I'm saying. No, you put them in place to push your agenda.
Yeah.
At first I thought, don't get me wrong now, it's stupid. First I was like, this dumb. He just putting people in position that has no qualifications. But then they get in their position, they shut their mouth and they do exactly what he said to do. Yep. And when they don't do what he say do, he fire them. Oh, you out of here. And it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Something else with that. This is I got a big gripe with this one right here. And that is that a lot of the people serving in the presidency do not meet fitness standards. Man, you got people falling to damn sleep. You got people. Hey, you seen it, right? Mitch McConnell falling asleep. In the middle of a damn sentence, he started falling asleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like everything, every job, everything has fitness standards. And so why doesn't the presidency have fitness standards? And they keep having these guys in there that's real old. They're not really up with the times. They're not really trying to be progressive thinking. You know what I mean? It's like status quo. Keep everything the same. Well, if you're doing that, that means we're moving real slow from slavery standards, right? That's what we're moving real slow from that. Instead of because you put a new kid in there, a new kid going to be like changing everything. You know what I mean? And so I think we got to get rid of that old administration, man, and just get some new young blood in there. And, look, here's what I'll say. I'm not going to say it's going to get better, but I will say it's not going to get any worse.
And here's my thing. I do think that they have, just like everything, I think especially Congress people, they should have an age limit. They should time out. You shouldn't be 80, 90 years old and serve for 70 years and you still a member.
Nope.
Age and bring somebody, like you say, bring some new people in there, but then that's us voting.
Go ahead.
I think it's with us voting, but then we got to look at who's running. You know what I mean? Because here in Atlanta, this governor race is weird.
Yeah.
We got to go for a governor.
Yeah, and I say you're right. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Mo. I was gonna say you're right in some cases, because some of those positions are for life, and they shouldn't. It should be Supreme Court's for life, man. That's ridiculous. No, why the hell you put it in the Supreme Court justice for life? That's dumb.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They need to serve certain period of time until they're no longer fit to continue, and then keep the process moving. You know what I mean?
I don't mind. Give them 10 years. 10 years, things don't change. Bring somebody else in there to do it.
Yeah. Right.
I know one thing they're trying to do here, and basically in Metro Atlanta, is take Democrat and Republican off the ballot.
And do
and
what?
People want to be in an uproar about it. Oh, they can't do that. They can't do that. I'm actually for it.
What are they going to replace it with something, or just leave everything blank?
So you had a candidate's name. The candidate's name will be there, but you won't know if they're Republican or Democrat.
Oh, you know what that's going to do? That's a good thing. You know why? Because it's going to require you to do some research.
You got to research who you voting for.
And we should have been doing that a long time ago.
But now they want to say, oh, they trying to do that to stop this and to stop the Democrats from winning and this and this. I don't think it's Democrat and Republican. Who's best for me?
Yeah.
And that's what voting is about. I'm voting for who's best for me. I remember in '96, my first year voting, and one of the things they said was, if you don't know who to vote for who your parents voted for.
Hey, it's a whole different time. What are you talking about?
But that's what they told me when I was 18, when I first go to vote. You don't know who to vote for? Vote who your parents voted for. But maybe me and my parents don't have the same ideology.
No, not at all. Not
You know.
Maybe you don't even like your parents.
Yeah, now what you gotta do? Hey, Cinnamon. Care from Tally. But the thing is, with it is, you do have to do research on who you voting for. It shouldn't be stuck to a party. It shouldn't be, oh, I'm stuck to the Democrats. I'm stuck with the Republicans. I'm voting who's best for me in mind. So, well, basically me. What's going to be the best for me? So it ain't got nothing. Just vote for whoever. But if you take Democrat and Republican off, now you ain't running that. I'm voting Democrat. I need to do some research. So we got some live wires running down here. We got on the Republican side, we got one that said either be deported or departed. That's the hilarious shit I've seen on a fucking commercial.
Oh my God.
You know, be deported or departed. Like, oh man, you leave or you gonna pass away. This is crazy.
Threatening murder, man.
We got another one that's definitely a all out 100% Trump supporter. You know, everything he says, I do what Trump do. I support Trump. You know,
that's crazy.
Then on the Republican side, I mean, on the Democratic side, I ain't paid attention to them, a lot of them. But we got Keisha Lance Bottoms, who was the former mayor of Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't live in Atlanta, but I live on the outskirts of Atlanta. And from what I seen from Atlanta, and when she left office, it's almost she quit as a mayor. About 6 months to a year before her term was up, she quit.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. You know, I felt like she quit. Now she running for governor. You know, when she went and did some things with the Biden administration, then now she back. Now she running for governor. And I say we went to the same high school, not the same time, but we graduated from the same high school.
Yeah.
But do I want to vote for her knowing that she quit on Atlanta just because she black, female, and she a Democrat?
I'll take more than that. You know,
It should.
Hey,
It
Mark,
should take more than that. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's what Obama ran on. Black man, intelligent, decent looking, can speak like nobody, like he got a silver tongue. You know what I'm saying? And so people was like, yeah, I'm voting for him.
Yeah. I got an uncle that probably ain't voted in 40, 50, 60 years. But he voted for Obama.
Oh, yeah.
And he'll tell you, the only reason he voted was because he was a black man. Yep. And I get it, a lot of people did it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
But we got to get away from, I mean, now and this time, we passed that because you black voting. You don't get my vote because you black.
No.
You know, like they mad at, I mean, they and then they quit to blame black men. Kamala Harris, black men went vote for her because they don't want to be in, they don't want to take orders from a black woman. They don't want a black woman in charge. Man, go to hell.
Straight to hell. Because
we did our job at voting if she ran on a policy that was in our favor.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the plan. Where's the plan at, man? I'm still waiting.
They'll never have a plan. Yeah. I'm black. Give me your vote. Get the hell out of here. That don't work no more.
Nah, that don't work. Nah. And you know, the other thing I got a gripe with is the so you know, we was talking about who to vote for, right? And and this might be a little too much, but this is what I think. I think we need to have either a forum or a place where we can have some black voting parties, because if you try to fill out one of them goddamn ballots, man, I do it every year, man. It take me like 4 hours because I really look at the candidates. I really try to make sure I'm voting for the right people, you know, with my interests in mind. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's full. If you see that ballot, it's ridiculous, huge. And
yes.
What'd you say, Bart?
I say yes, it is.
Yeah, it's huge, man. And then you know and that's why them damn judges, they always stay in there, because by the time you get to the damn judges, you burnt out. You like, I can't do no more. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm thinking we need like black voting parties. And so, you know, somebody who's knowledgeable about, you know, the political space can explain to us who these people are, what they're for. And, you know, because the thing I see closest to that is they send out these, I've seen these alerts that tell you, you know, based on party politics, who to vote for. Like if you want to vote, if you're a Democrat, it says you're a Democrat, vote for this person. You're Republican, vote for this person. You're Independent, vote for this person. But short of that, you don't know nothing. All you're doing is checking
Yeah,
the box.
and the biggest thing is when you get to the ballot, when you actually in the ballot, it be so much other shit on there that you don't even know what's on there.
Yeah.
And now you clueless as to what the hell is all this extra shit. I don't know which way to vote for this.
Yeah.
I think that these people that's running for these offices need to hold these forums and say, hey, when you go in there, you're gonna see this. This is what this means.
Mm-hmm.
You know, incumbent, you can only vote. Hold on, see the other candidate, and you won't see the other candidate. Oh wow! But yeah, you go in there, like I say, it was in there talking about our homestead exemption. You know, is it go up 20%, 10%? I have no clue what this means, and nobody ever told me, you know, that it was on the ballot to look for it when you get in there. And there's a lot of things that they put in there. You know, sometimes you just have to read and interpret, and everybody don't read and interpret.
So look, this process ain't no different. This is a psychological operation, and the agenda is keep people dumb and in the dark, so that way they can run their little play, right? They can run their agenda, and that's been it from the beginning, you know. And then once we figure that out, guess what? They're gonna change that, and then you know it just is the way it works, man. You ain't never gonna figure it out, man.
I mean, let me go back. Cinnamon, she quit. If you look at what she did in the last 6 months to the year in office, you can't see nothing she did. She was less visible. It was almost like, man, fuck this job. I'm over it. And that's why I say she quit. Now, you know, APD, police officers, the majority of them dislike her. A lot of them dislike her. The things that she did, you know, when she was in there. And DVP brought it to my attention a couple of weeks ago, the way she can't change laws. And I didn't think about it, but when older gentleman was killed by the police for not signing the ticket, she led me to believe that she changed the law in Atlanta that you don't have to sign the ticket anymore. But that's not something she can do.
No, that's not good.
And think about it, but it sounded good.
The president can't do that. That's got to go.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
She can do it. She can only do it for the city of Atlanta, though. And see, that's what people could see. She could make it so Atlanta couldn't arrest you for weed. She couldn't stop the sheriffs, the marshals, the troopers. She couldn't stop nobody else.
Okay.
But let me correct something that you said initially. It wasn't that Obama couldn't do it. Obama did a lot, but Obama kept meeting with a Republican Senate and Republican See, Trump did a lot of stuff because ain't nobody opposed him because the Republicans control the White House, the Senate, and the House. But if you look at the HBCU bill that got passed, that was Obama's bill. Trump changed it so that they couldn't talk about black people, but that was something Obama had tried to get pushed that the dude from North Carolina wouldn't let go through. So it was a lot of stuff he did, but because we were ignorant voters, we didn't realize that voting for the House and the Senate was as important as voting for the president. Because I can let Mo drive my car, but if I give him a crappy a pit crew chain, what good does it do? He ain't got nobody who know how to run the car. So Mo can only do so much in this high-powered car that I got. And that's what the Republicans understood when they did this whole thing, when we ignorantly keep saying, oh, they already know who's gonna win. Well, if they already know who's gonna win, why they've been going so hard at trying to take votes? See, those two arguments can't exist at the same time. If they know who's gonna win, it wouldn't matter what we did. But the fact that they keep trying to get us not to vote, for us to keep saying it, because as long as we don't vote and the loyalists come out, the Republicans gonna always have a say so. But if we come out, and don't get me wrong, I ain't saying Democrats are a whole lot better. But if you look at the pure numbers, and Mo is a numbers guy, the economy has always been better under Democrats. Always. There's no getting around that.
True.
Republicans have always cared about the rich. The problem with Democrats is they ain't never really cared about the poor. And it only makes sense when you're in politics because we can want what we want. But you know who everybody caters to? They cater to voters, not just people who out there whining. You got to make yourself known and heard, and you got to have a voice. When we keep ignoring that little fact, we make it hard for anybody. People, every time you hear somebody say, "I ain't vote," but what they want. Well, if you don't vote, nobody care what you want. When you don't,
True.
when we try to run from jury duty because we don't want to be caught up, then you don't get to vote either. So a lot of that is on us because we don't. What did black people be saying they wanted? We wanted what's that thing? We wanted reparations. We don't need reparations. We need the right to vote. It needs to be a right, not an act. We need the right to vote, and we need mental health facilities. But every time you hear, oh, I ain't vote for nobody unless they talk about reparations. So they can talk about it, but then you don't get it, what happened? Because we like what people talk about. We don't care what they do. We like what they talk about. Stacey Abrams talked a good game. Keisha talked a good game. But where were they?
DVP, I can't say Stacey talked a good game.
Trying to tell us who is a good candidate and why. Who is a good judge and why. They do what they do. So we shouldn't vote on people just because of the skin folk, kinfolk thing. We should know what they stand for and make sure, as Mark said earlier, make sure they at least gonna do something that you want done.
Yeah. But DVP, I disagree with when you saying Stacey talked a good game. I have no idea what policies Stacey spoke on that would have been beneficial to me. And I listened to her a lot. You know, and we say, oh, we ain't vote for her. We ain't get out and vote. She really wasn't talking about shit that was beneficial to me. You know, then they say, well, you got to vote against the lesser of two evils. You know, that's the craziest shit. It's like you telling people that, like, fuck it, I'm not voting. You know, yeah, your vote matters, but if you got to stop saying people that don't vote is the problem, because that don't always necessarily mean they're gonna vote for who you wanted them to vote for either. You know, so black people that didn't vote, you can't say Trump the reason they're in office, because who's to say they wouldn't have voted for him? You don't know who they would have voted for. So we got to stop making people that don't vote into these, you know, evil people, or these you get what you got people.
But when we keep playing victim and we always want to blame somebody else because we don't want to do the research, you know, a guy called me, he asked me who I should vote for. I said, I can't tell you who to vote for. I don't know what's important to you. You know,
Yes.
you got to vote the way you feel. That way, if you don't like it, you can complain. But my mama told me a long time ago, if you don't vote, that's a few. What's up, Sherry?
You're on mute, Sherry.
Unmute yourself, Sherry. We want to hear you.
Hey, how y'all doing?
All
We
right.
good. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm good.
Glad you could talk about it.
I'm gonna let y'all have that them politics.
No, come on. We need your voice. We want to hear your opinion.
Woo! I'm a government employee.
Well, you just sit back and sit this one out. You sit this one out.
I ain't getting fired for y'all, boy.
We want you to get a check next week.
Well, look, I don't know about being fired, but you know, I retire in 2 years. I don't want to, you know, mess that up. I ain't trying to
Don't mess that up.
all that. So
Don't mess that up. Yeah.
And see, we'll pick at her and we'll laugh at her. But you got to remember, that's the same way politicians are. They want to stay with who paying them. And if you whine about something and you ain't voting, or you making $6,000 a year, don't nobody care what you want. Until you get 60 or 70,000 people to say that, don't nobody care what you want at $6,000. The people who supporting your campaign and donating 30, 40, 50, 100,000, them the ones you're trying to do stuff for. And we seem to keep forgetting that. And because we can't band together and put all our money together, you know, we keep talking about saving businesses and all this other stuff. But we need to put our money together and get a good candidate. And make sure that candidate represents us as a community, not us as individuals. And that's what we keep messing up at. Because you see some of these dinners they got, $30,000, $40,000 a plate.
Yeah.
Who going to them? Not us. So
Nope.
when they asking people what they want, ain't nobody saying, oh, we need better daycare system. Because them people who can donate 40 grand, they got good daycares. Because they make sure they got them. But we gotta start being better about pulling our money together for stuff other than wing shops and nail salons.
So one of the things that I feel is a big problem in our community, Black community, regarding voting, is that I don't think people really see the direct correlation to the benefits of voting for the right candidate, right? You don't really see that, you know what I mean? Because and so I think we need to really kind of try to highlight that and say, you know, because you voted for this person, this is what you get from it, this is what you get out of it. Most of the time, all we hear is these people coming up with these fantastic agendas during voting time, right? When it's voting time, oh man, this is what I got for you. This one gonna do for you. You know what I'm saying? We got this bill, we got that bill. We're gonna make it so you can do this, you can do that, and then after that, you don't hear nothing. So I want a damn postmortem, a damn 3 month, a quarterly. I want a quarterly report out on what changed, what you did, and how's it going. You know what I'm saying? They ain't never gonna do that though. They ain't never doing that.
Yeah, them days over with.
Yeah, not well. I don't think they ever did that. They don't. That's by design, man. You got to keep us all in the dark, you know. But
yeah, they gonna keep you in the dark, keep you looking around, and keep you wondering, you know. And you just keep wondering. Oh, let me see. Like I say, we out here right now in Georgia. We voting for a governor, and it's like Like I said, I did a little research, and I'm like, I have no clue who I'm gonna vote for, which is crazy.
If we honest about the governor in Georgia, how bad has he really been? He's been way better than we want to give him credit for, because he's gotten his money back. He stood up to Trump, but he's a Republican, and I mean, he's done some things I don't care for, but I think that's what sometimes we get into our feelings, and it's almost like a relationship. Depending on your mood, you either look at all the good or you look at all the bad. You can't never take the mix together and say, overall, he's done a good job, or overall, he's done a bad job. We'll say, oh, he did this, and this. Well, what about this, and this, and this? You know, I
say this. I'm with you, DVP. He's actually done some things that I agree with and I don't agree with. He's given us money. I think he's done a great job as governor, but only because he's a Trump supporter. People just, like they just want to hate him because that's what he does. But for the people, I think he's done a pretty good job for the people.
And what if we were to look into it like for real, most of 45's good ideas were Obama's that Republicans wouldn't back. He just started doing extra stuff because some of the stuff he's done has actually ain't been that bad. It's just that when he do crazy stuff, it's so crazy. It is so insane that's what we harp on. And it's like, he ain't done nothing good. Well, I can't go that far. He ain't done a lot good. But again, we got to look at who he's catering to. Has he done stuff for us? Again, when we keep talking about us, do us vote? If the answer to that is no, then us got to shut up. Do us go out and do this? Do us go out and do that? And a lot of times the answer is no. So if you don't do these things, why would anybody look out for you? It's insane that we want somebody. Black people ought to be in a perpetual state of victimness. And we don't want to know information because if we know something, if you know better, you can do better. So we prefer not to know because then we can sit back and say, oh, I didn't know this, I didn't know that. Well, did you ask? Did you Google it? You can find out what time your favorite show coming on. You can find out what day the movie going to start. You can be the first in line to get them shoes, but you don't know nothing about a candidate in your area. But we'll blame the white people for that. And I tell people, like I live in Douglas County, and one of the first things Douglas County did that I didn't like initially, Douglas County had a bad habit of paving roads at night. Well, I worked at night. It was an inconvenience for me. But guess what I learned? That made more sense because it was only impacting me. It didn't slow the schools down. It didn't slow down normal traffic. It slowed down 3 or 4 people who was night workers. But the people who were day workers, it didn't mess up their day. So, at the end of the day, it cost a little bit more money because they were doing it at night. But it got done quicker too because they didn't have to keep playing with traffic. Where if you live in Atlanta, when do they do? They do construction all day long, every day. They don't care nothing about messing up traffic. So I had to start looking at what Douglas County was doing and readjust some of my thinking about what I thought about politics, because sometimes we do look selfishly and we don't look at the bigger picture. I look at when they start talking about free lunches for kids. I don't have no kids, but free lunch to me for kids is a big deal because I know a lot of kids can't afford to eat. A lot of parents don't have that. So I look at candidates who talk about doing free and subsidized lunches. Whereas Mo ain't got no kids. That may not be a concern at all for Mo. Or if it is, it would make sense if he don't care nothing about subsidized lunches. But at some point, we got to start looking at the bigger picture because if Mo only concentrate on what Mo wants, Sherry concentrate on what Sherry want, Mark concentrate on what Mark want, DVP concentrate on what he want, we want 4 different things. So who you think they're going to go with? They're going to go with the 2 white people who want the same thing. Because now they got consistency. They got 4 people who want, because no matter what they pick from the 4 of us, 3 of us going to be unhappy. But they can at least make two people happy, because if they do what we want, ain't but one person gonna be happy. But if they do what the two white people want who united, they made two people happy. And I use the LGBT stuff. LGBT came in with an agenda. They only went for one something at a time. You didn't never see them throwing a bunch of stuff up on the wall. They wanted the marriages. Then they wanted benefits. They didn't never throw them out there together. They got one, then they moved to the next one. Then they moved to the next one. Black people want everything at once. We want 40 acres and a mule. We want reparations. We want citizenship. We want this. We want that. We want that. Black people stupidly want child support to go down. But we want so many things that can't nobody do nothing to please us. And that's because we won't unite. And all our fake leaders, I'm gonna ask y'all, who is a one black politician that you look up to, or civil rights leader that you look to, that you want to hear them speak? You hanging on with what they saying. They talking about. They saying something good.
Nobody. I mean, for me, I don't listen to any of them, politician-wise, or those civil rights activists. But I do listen to Killer Mike,
who is just as shady. But what about you, Mo?
Wait, what'd you say about Killer Mike, DVP?
He's shady. I'll get to that when y'all tell me who y'all look up to.
I ain't look up to him, but I do listen to a lot of things that he say. I agree with it.
Yeah,
I don't.
Oh, am I?
Go ahead, Mo.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Sherry. So I don't have any in this administration that I follow.
I'm just talking about black people in general who if they said something, they would have your attention.
Oh, that's Dr. Ball. I don't know if you
Dr.
know
who?
Dr. Ball.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would say Jasmine Crockett. I've heard more of her than many of the other ones, but to be honest, I really don't care for any of the politicians, because I feel like anytime you still getting paid and TSA workers are not, that to me, that says a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah. I just that doesn't pass the common sense test to me. If the government is shut down, that means everybody for the government who work for the government shouldn't be getting paid, including me. I mean, I'm a soldier, but we still shouldn't be getting paid, So I just find it funny that you shut down the government in which you work for, but you still getting paid and other people are not. So yeah. I'm gonna get off that soapbox, but that's my take on politics.
And one thing, since you said that, Sherry, I want to say I commend you for that, because although it wouldn't be beneficial to you, your views didn't change. If the government is shut down, you feel that everybody should be shut down. And that says a lot about your character, that you would actually be like, I'm for it, even though it's gonna hurt me, but this is how it should be. That's fair, and I commend you for that.
I'm gonna say,
before you get to talking, Doug did have something in the comment for you.
Oh yeah. And Doug, I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong. The 30% of Trump lawyers are 30%. They're gonna stay there the same, and they're gonna vote for him no matter what. That's how he won last time. Because if you look at the numbers are exactly the same, except fewer people voted Democrat. They just didn't vote at all. Trump got the same number of losing votes he got last time. His fan base is fanatics. Even with this war going on, Doug, what you see, he's still at 30% approval rate, because 30% of people ain't gonna never ever turn away from him ever.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this: the room was full when the bullets was flying towards Trump. They're gonna be full the next time too.
Well, he can't run no more. But let me go with Killer Mike first, and I'm gonna tell you why he bogus. Remember that Greenwood Trust Bank that they told that black bank they told everybody to sign up for? That ain't a black bank at all.
It ain't a bank.
I got paid for. Company. Say it again.
I say it's a tech. Greenwood is a tech company.
Right, but him and T.I. was promoting that, talking about all black people should do it because him and T.I. got paid. It's run by white people. It's run by white people.
I agree with you.
And when T.I. was promoting, what's the independent he was promoting for president? Bernie. I don't know about
T.I. Bernie Sanders?
Yeah. T.I. was the Bernie Sanders guy. When Bernie Sanders fell out, you didn't hear no more from
Bernie Sanders guy.
I'm sorry, Killer Mike. You didn't hear no more from Killer Mike. Now Killer Mike done took this stance where he talking about women and stuff. I mean, Killer Mike is still who Killer Mike is. He can do good stuff, but he bought. He's bought. He say what they pay him to say. Him and T.I. both. T.I. made great music. When they started doing this affordable family housing, have you seen how many people they done moving into these affordable family houses? None.
It's not affordable.
Because but that's what they came out when they got all this money, when they was doing all this stuff on Bankhead. It was supposed to be for us. Then nobody get paid but them. Nobody.
Affordable is subjective.
It ain't on Bankhead, bro. On Bankhead is Bankhead.
Yeah.
And if you building houses on Bankhead and you start them at 300, you ain't trying to make them affordable, because that ain't affordable. On Bankhead, we ain't talking about Buckhead. We talking about Bankhead.
We know, but that's why I say affordable is subjective. In today's market, they say that is affordable. No, it's not.
They weren't doing this in today's market. They were doing this 4-5 years ago. And
I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's still today's market. Yeah. But today's market 4-5 years ago says that is affordable, even though we know it's not. On paper, that's what they say affordable is.
I want to know who set the baseline for affordable. Like, where's that come from? Right? We got poor, middle class, and rich. What the hell is the baseline for affordable?
I have no idea.
Guarantee they put it between middle class and rich.
You look at the neighborhood and see what the neighborhood is renting for, and then to make it affordable, you got to be below or at that level, but you can't go up above what the medium level is for that neighborhood. That's what makes it affordable housing. Cory Booker, bogus. The other dude, bogus. And we talked about this before. And I like Jasmine Crockett. She's a little too fiery sometimes, but whoever stand behind Jasmine Crockett when she challenging Trump. Can y'all name one dude that ever stands with her and say, "Hey, we support Jasmine Crockett"?
No,
none. Cause and she be on. I'm in the church, y'all. She be on Trump, but you don't never see a black man support her. Never, never. And to me, that's the craziest thing ever, because when you look at Harriet Tubman, when you look at Jasmine Crockett, when you look at any woman who has had a voice, you don't ever see black men supporting them ever. But when we stand up, you'll see black women behind us, even we dead wrong. They'll still stand behind us. But ain't nobody saying that about Jasmine Crockett. You don't never hear Cory Booker. What's the other light-skinned dude name? You don't hear none of the Hakeem Jeffries. You don't hear none of these brothers standing behind her. None of them. Why is that?
Well, I'll say this. Being in the military, I look at politics a little bit like that. I can say something. I mean, I'm a lieutenant colonel, so I can say something and a white boy can say the same thing. If I say it, it's like, oh yeah, we hear you, Colonel Crawford. But let one of them white boys say the same thing I said. Oh, he's a go-getter. Oh, he shakes and moves. He makes things happen. And people like, and the reason I like Jasmine Crockett is because she liked to deal in facts, and she speak her mind. She ain't trying to be nobody's friend. She just keep it real. That's the way I am as well. And white folks don't like that. They don't like that. And especially in the Army, they don't like it. They can be as wrong as all get out, and you tell them they wrong. Oh, now everybody is against you, which, I mean, of course, I don't give a shit. But, my point is that they don't stand behind Jasmine Crockett for the most part, because she keep it real and she stand on business from what I could see. So,
but we can't just say that about Jasmine Crockett. That's what black people do anyway, especially if you're not talking what they want to hear. Because we go into the council culture quick. Oh, council. Because one person that I listen to is Candace Owens. And it's with everybody. I don't agree with 100% what nobody says. But I do agree with some of her thoughts and some of the things that she say. But if I tell another black person that, oh, Lord, you cooning just like her. Oh, Lord. Hey, sometimes you just have to listen to what they say. Damn the messenger. Listen to the message.
And that's
tell me something she done say it first, and then I tell you. Tell me something that you agree with first before I make my judgment.
Oh, you make your judgment. Listen to all her thoughts on LGBT and this transgender thing. listen to it. I completely agree with it. I completely agree with it. You know what I mean? But a lot of people don't want to listen to her, and she takes some other things. Like I say, just because she's switched over, we don't want to listen to her. You feel what I'm saying?
Synopsis of what she said about the LGBTQ. Yeah.
Hell, it ain't but two genders. It's male and female. And being transgender is a mental illness, and I agree.
I don't know about it being mental, but I will say that I agree that it's only male and female. But
it's a mental illness. You can't accept yourself for who you are, but you want me to accept you for who you think you are. That's a mental illness. And I don't subscribe to it. I look at. I went in the bank one day and it had somebody pronouns on their shirt. I was like, they made you do that? You look like a boy. I'm gonna refer to you as a boy. You know what I mean? I don't give a damn what they say. When I meet you, when I see you, yes, ma'am, no, sir. I'm speaking to you to the sex that I see. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm gonna always do that. I'm not subscribing to your mental illness. Because that shit only work with transgenders. I can't. They got mad at Rachel Dolezal for being black all her life. She felt black, so why she couldn't be black?
Well, and the thing is when we talking politics, why does any of that matter? Any of it. All we should care about is what's going on with what they're saying. Is there any merit to it? And I think whether we want to admit it or not, a lot of us, men and women too, are undercover misogynists and don't want to recognize that fact. Because we saw in this last election, a lot of people would rather follow a white man down a rabbit hole than listen to anything a black woman might have to say. And too many times that comes up. You know, Sheriff just told you her story. We can all tell stories about it that we know it happened. We can say, not me. But we know that there have been times, no matter what we think about Jasmine Crockett, what is the general perspective of her? She's an angry black woman. Nobody talks about the fact that she's right 95% of the time. Nobody talks about that. She's right 95% of the time. She comes with facts. She was a district attorney. She comes with facts.
Don't forget aggressive. That's another one they use.
So she comes across as y'all can't see my hand. She comes across as an angry black woman because when you can't beat the facts, you attack the attitude. Because ain't nobody never said she was wrong. Never. They never. And if you know, if you ever watch her, she stays consistent. She don't even try to do multiple subjects at one time. She picked one topic. She got her little note cards that she have people stand up behind her when she talk. She focused on that. She don't try to hit you with a bunch of subjects. She gets you one at a time. And bam, that's how she go. But like I say, when it comes time to defend her, what do you see the black men? Hell, for that matter, what do you see the black women? She don't have a lot of support. What do you see AOC when it comes to Jasmine Crockett? But we'll support some of the stuff AOC, and I ain't got nothing against AOC, but AOC, even though she falls under person of color, AOC is not us. AOC don't bring heat. She don't bring heat. Jasmine Crockett come with the laser cannons, and she got her sight set. She will call people out by name. She don't do innuendo. She call you out by name. She just got one fact after another, one fact. And my favorite thing she always say, hey, I was a district attorney. I know the law. I'm not guessing at it. And you know, but that's one of them things where we just don't want to follow because, and I heard too many dudes say this. Oh man, first time you let a black woman be in charge, they're gonna try to run everything.
Well, I'm glad I ain't heard nobody say that.
Okay.
I can't say your circle. I just say I know I haven't heard nobody say that. And sentiment, just because she married to a white man don't mean you can't listen to the message.
I mean, Harris married to a white man.
Mm-hmm.
Everything she said was gonna happen, sure did.
Oh, we knew what we were getting into. We knew, and we see it now. But I just wish whoever follows him follows suit and do exactly what they say they're gonna do. And I wish some of these local leaders, where it really matters, will follow suit and do what they say they're gonna do prior to them getting in office.
But see, Mark, we putting the cart before the horse again. Whoever wins the next president can't do nothing unless the House and the Senate change. Because a lot of stuff that what did Biden say he was going to do? He said he was going to do that school debt loan forgiveness, didn't he? And he got it done. And then what happened? The Republicans say, "Oh, no, and they stopped it because he didn't have them behind him. So we can put whoever we want to at the top. If you don't put a good engine in the machine is only as good as the tires. And we keep skipping that part. We just want to vote for the top person. We'll vote for the president, but we won't vote for city council. We won't vote. Most of us don't even know who our own personal representative is in our district because we so busy worried about this and we just hit other stuff. And some of these people ain't got our best interests because we don't. If you're gonna vote for what you want personally, I would tell people if you got one vote, vote in your local elections. That's what affects you personally. Most of the stuff that happened in DC is not going to affect us until we got some dumb stuff like this war. But vote for who's going to do something with your neighborhood, with your streets, with your businesses. That's what affects us personally, because most of us don't make enough money for DC to affect us. Most of us didn't realize what the tax cuts did because it just didn't affect us.
Nope.
But we can't keep
a small little trickle down effect.
One person gonna do it.
But that's the thing. Like I say, we definitely got to get out and vote on our local levels. That's where it matters the most.
Okay, I was trying to find the coach. All right. Okay.
But that's where it matters the most on our local level, and that's when we got to keep driving into people's heads. Vote on the local level.
But just like we set up watch parties for UFC and all this, we can go to some of the they having town hall meetings. Go to a town hall meeting and see how many people look like you. The ones that look like us, usually 75, 80 years old. You don't see, now you're starting to see some 20-year-olds because they're concerned about their future, but you don't see us. Because,
we can't patch it out. I figured that out in a portion when I was coaching. When I coached, man, practice used to be packed with parents.
Okay, so I did
got about 50 parents at practice. But you ask them some bitches to go to a PTA meeting, they gonna look at you like you retarded. What am I gonna go to a PTA meeting? They'll sit at practice in the parking lot at the school and still won't take their ass to a PTA meeting.
Cause they got
What's the objective of the PTA meeting, Mark?
Say that again.
What is the objective of a PTA meeting? What would happen there?
To figure out why they dumbass kids got a 1.6 and can't get in college. Figuring out my child got a 1.9, you can't get him in school. The fuck you think? You feel what I'm saying? No, he can't. He gonna have to go to a prep school. Or he gonna have to go to a junior college to get his grades.
He gonna have to go to summer school, player. He ain't going to no prep school. He going to summer school.
Hey, look, if they got an IEP, they can play football, and that no kid left behind. Fuck these kids up.
What messed
no
them up
kid left behind. They seniors and can't read.
But because they start giving teachers incentive to pass them, that's what messed them up.
They didn't get a teacher incentive to pass them.
Yeah, they did.
It was the school.
That's why a lot of them got messed up, because if you didn't pass X amount, if your success rate wasn't good, you was getting replaced. So you had to get these little dumb kids at least a D, and they didn't deserve it, because these parents, man, I met one of these kids and his mom was fussing about the school didn't teach him how to read. And I'm thinking, Sherry, you got kids, Mark, you got kids. Y'all ain't never had y'all kids read to y'all while y'all was doing stuff. You should know by before they hit high school whether or not they can read.
Yeah.
That ain't a school issue. That's a bad parenting issue.
I agree, but they got social promotion. If a kid get kept back now, it hurts their mental. So they socially promote them and keep them pushing.
It also affects
the no kid left behind.
It affects the incentive that schools get. So you understand, this is all financially based. They don't get paid for being good teachers. They get paid for passing students.
They get paid for kids passing tests. That's what the chief scandal was about.
Right, because the school loses incentives if so many don't do it. But that's something that we was okay with.
Yeah, that is right, Cinnamon. Based on the funding, that's the school gets the funding, and that's what that cheating scandal in Atlanta was about. But no child left behind means, hey, dumb as your kid is, do you want to go to the next grade? Yes. All right. Well, then Johnny little dumbass on to the next grade. And we ain't even gonna talk about them COVID kids. They really fucked up because they missed a year and a half of school and didn't learn shit at home. You know, so that definitely passing them to the next level. And those kids are really gonna be in trouble.
It ain't the kids who in trouble though. That's what we keep misunderstanding. It's us who in trouble.
I mean, yeah, us.
At the end of the day, the kids are our future. If they don't know nothing, then what's left for us as we get older? Because we're sinking. Because we keep wanting equality, and we don't know what it means because we ain't putting forth none of the efforts. We still promoting horrible English. If you sound anything like you white, oh, you're gonna get shunned for having correct English because you might mess around and get a good, you might mess around and get a good job and leave us here in the hood. Oh, you're not like us. We want you to be slang all the time. And we are still promoting that. We are still promoting that. And we'll blame other people because we want to stay in a state of victimhood. And the easiest people to blame is the government. We don't vote. We blame the government. But the government, day in and day out, show us how much our vote matters. They've been trying to take it forever and ever and ever. But we will still say, oh, man, our vote don't matter. Our vote, man, my vote don't mean nothing. Man, we're going to switch subjects just for half a second. What do they always say about the Super Bowl being fixed? So why are you watching if you believe that? You believe some grown men out there risking all this for a game that they already know the outcome of. And if that was the case, the Jets would have won 3 or 4 because they would keep going to the major markets. They don't. But to fit a narrative, we'll always put a spin on something. Oh, our vote don't matter. Oh, you know, Sherry was never gonna be my girlfriend because you know the white folk already told her she got to get married to Bucket. We got a defeatist mentality. So when we lose, we feel better about losing because we feel like we never had a choice. You know, one of my friends told me, he said, man, he said, yeah, you had it good, but I ain't have it like you. And I'm like, dude, we grew up next door to each other. What was the difference between how I grew up and how you grew up?
Yeah, the G out there with a pistol grip.
We was in the same projects. We was the same. We lived next door to each other without no power. So what? Except you know what? When it came time to join the military, I joined the military. I couldn't work for the white man. You've been to jail 3 times. You did work for the white man. You got paid way less than I did. So I don't understand what you're saying, stupid. If you going, you know what I'm saying? Oh, well, you know, man, ain't nobody gonna I ain't let nobody tell me what to do. So you rather be broke and poor, going to prison when nobody's telling you what to do. Because in prison, I know they tell you when to wake up. I know they do because I work there. They even tell you when you go to bed. But in your mentality, you ain't gonna work for a white man. And you think that's the difference between us. I'm gonna work for whoever paying me. You know, whoever pay me good. Yeah. But in your mentality, oh man, I couldn't be no cop. I couldn't lock up my own people. Well, okay. If you look at my career, 70% of people I locked up were white. So I still don't get what you're saying because I was paid to lock up criminals. See, you can make a difference if you stop making excuses and apply yourself. Share in the military. See, people can say a lot of things. Either you're part of the problem or you're part of the solution. When we talk about teaching, I do mentorship. You know what? You know what's really lacking in the school system? What is really lacking, Mark? You know this. There are no black male teachers. None. It may be 5 or 6 for every school, if that many, Mark.
Yeah.
And two of them coaches, one of them is ROTC, the other one is a janitor. There are no black men, but all these black men keep talking shit. Dude, be a school teacher. They run into you. But if you're a black man, you going to a school right now, they gonna already put you near the top of the list.
Hey, it's hard for a school teacher, DPP. That shit ain't for the weak and faint.
But if we got,
I agree with you on that. I would never advise a dude to be a teacher, not in these days.
But that's part of the problem. When we were in school, we had male teachers who kept schools in line. Once you lost them, that's part of the reason that it's out of line. So if we put them back to gain control, we get control of that. We can keep saying how bad these kids are, But again, why are they so bad? Because nothing against
But
you,
they
Sherry.
took discipline out. You got
But
that's
no,
when we-
The kids are running the school now.
that's
right,
because
when we was in school,
you got
you got
90%
your
women
butt
teachers. You got 90% women teachers. If you put it back where it's 60-40, I guarantee you these students won't be running the schools.
No.
I disagree. I disagree.
DVP,
Let me tell you why.
it's butts and seats for school.
Let me tell you why I don't think it would be any better, because you got to think about the mentality, and I'll speak like just from the military standpoint, you know, and DVP, you can understand what I'm saying because you've been in the military. Like now, like in the 80s and 90s in the military, you know, if a soldier is, you know, not, you know, up to par doing what they need to do, you know, you got in that soldier's face, or you know, you corrected them however you kind of wanted to for the most part without being brutal, but sometimes they were brutal. But now, today, if I were to tell a soldier, if I say, Specialist Smith, I need you to go out in the yard and do a police call. Why you pick me? Why I'm the only one can do it? Because the Army has changed. It's not like it was back then. So I say that to say this. It's the same thing with schools. Like, you know, our parents, I don't care what the teacher said we did. Your parents believed it. But now you got parents these days that their kids can act a plum fool, fight the teacher. The parent coming up there to fight the teacher. So I just think the generation is totally different. The requirements are different. We used to get our ass beat in school, you know, the paddle or whatever. You can't do that no more. So, I mean, you can't even beat your own child in your house without going to jail. So
how'd you tell I beat mine?
I mean, I used to beat mine too, but I'm just saying. You know,
but Sherry,
but
I'm gonna tell you why I disagree with you, Sherry. One of the first things you said was you can say something and Colonel Bucket can say something, they're gonna do something different. Because when men talk, you ain't gotta put your hands on them. Mark know this from being a coach. You ain't gotta put your hands on them. It's the way we speak. I worked at strip clubs for years. You know, one time I can tell you about successful strip clubs, the house mom is a man. Because when women try to regulate other women, there's always anarchy. But when a man come in and say something, you don't get that same level of resistance in mass. You're going to get 2 or 3, but the women going to stop. And the same thing is with boys. Mark know this. Coaches know this. It ain't the biggest coaches who get the most. Man, look at how Boosie had them boys acting when they... Look at Boosie, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
And what them boys do when Boosie showed up? They all bowed down. Boosie ain't big as nobody. It's the respect that you demand from who you are. We don't have that anymore because a lot of dudes would rather be unemployed than try to be teachers because they think it's so hard, and it's really not that hard. I've been places and stood up and said something, and I got boys running to me. I ain't got to put my hands on them. All you got to do is act like you care. Mark, you a coach. When you find a kid who needs a male mentor, if you what do you do, Mark, when you show him a little attention?
They get in line. But
you don't have to threaten them or beat them or nothing. You can talk to them, and they just take it better. We gotta stop. We gotta stop running from this. We gotta stop running from this.
So
here's the thing, DVP. Here's the thing about it now in schools. The kids are running the school, and it's based on butts and seats. So the school district and the schools know if we don't have kids in these seats, we're not going to get the funding that we need. So it's no more suspension. The consequences are less and less now for the kids in the school. So once they realize that the consequences are so low, they just keep habitual line steppers because it's nothing you can do. Now my daughter's a teacher. I got a daughter that teaches. Kid has an IEP that says the kid can walk through halls and nobody can say nothing to him. So the kid just say, hey, fuck it, I'm finna walk the halls. Nobody can do nothing to him because it's in his IEP. How do you control that? You can't.
You can. You can.
If he give up and walk out of your class, it's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
It's in his IEP. His
IEP is based on planning, Mark.
We know.
When I go to Mays, Half of them kids on IEP. And guess what they can't do? They can't do whatever they want to, Mark, because at some point, everybody who's on the mentorship team is a man. When we come up there, you see them boys act totally different. It ain't the three of us. It ain't the three of us, Mark. And when we walk down the hallway and they running, and you stand in front of one and say, hey, what you doing? They stop and look at you, and they stop. They don't know who we are. They don't know. That's and we don't have to put our hands on them. We don't have to put our hands on them. All you gotta do is stand there and look at them. See, we can keep saying what they won't do. Kids are kids. And I tell people this. You know why kids join gangs? Discipline. Because these kids will tell you they got jumped in and jumped out because somebody held them accountable. We keep making excuses for them, and guess what? They run with it. If Sherry's son know that Sherry's scared of him, guess what he gonna do? He gonna keep pushing the envelope like we all did. But when Sherry's son know that if he do something, that shoe come around the corner, guess what he gonna do? He gonna whisper like we did. Every time we got mad at our mom, what we do? We whispered under our breath. When she said, what you say? What did we say? We said, no, ma'am, nothing. We ain't say, huh? We said nothing, ma'am. We no, ma'am. I ain't say nothing.
Hey, so let me jump in here.
Around the corner like a boomerang.
Jump in, Mo.
Yeah, because I gotta. So one thing I just want to. This is my thoughts on the that it takes a man to do it. I don't agree with that, because, and I'm gonna tell you why I don't agree with that. Because what I saw one day was a dog trainer. All right, so this dude, my friend, and his wife just got a new Rottweiler, right? Rottweiler's untrained. They had a trainer in the house, and the trainer tells the man, he said, "Listen, I taught him how to sit, so now you got to tell him to sit." So the man says, "Sit," and the dog sat. And then the trainer stood the dog back up, and then he told the wife, he said, "Tell him to sit," and she said, "Sit." Dog kept standing. He said, "Deepen your voice and say it again." And she said, "Sit." And he sat down. So I think it's associated with, the approach and a type of authority associated with how you deal with the kids. It's not male, female, in my opinion. I'm done with that.
I get it, but here's the thing, DVP. Let me jump in, DVP. In the schools, if there's no consequences for your actions, the kids continue to push the envelope. I get it. Yes, some male teachers can step in, but a lot of teachers are handcuffed to where they can't discipline the kids. And if a kid at Mays High School, kid stole a teacher's car, 3-day suspension, comes back and say, "Fuck it, I'll steal our car again." What you supposed to do? What can you do? Because if somebody stole your car and they come back in your face 3 days later, somebody, "I steal it again." No, because it's lack of discipline for them, because they want the kids in the seat, so they push the envelope. Pat them on the back, give them something so they not outside of the school. When I was in school and Dr. Hill at Douglas High School ran that school like Joe Clark, we all got in line and did what we were supposed to do because we knew it was consequences for our actions. And I say that because that joke, I'm going to tell you, Dr. Hill, the principal at Douglas High School, told my mama herself, when he is in my school, I'm his daddy. And he gonna do what I say. And my mama said, "You right. Do what he say." I couldn't do nothing but step back. Like, I get it. Because he had total authority over his students and over his building. Now, ask him, could he be a principal in today's time? He gonna tell you no. Because he don't have the control that he needs to make his school a better place.
Yes, he does, Mark. You just proved my point. Because I went to Doug. He ain't put his hands on nobody. He couldn't catch him if he had to. When he said, "Come here and start running," what did people do? They stopped running, knowing he couldn't catch nobody.
Because he was gonna chase you. He was gonna remember you. And the next day he was gonna call you to the office.
He was gonna remember you. He wasn't gonna chase you. I went to Doug.
Hey, he had a slow trot because he ran 5 miles a day. He gonna chase you just until he can get a good identification of you, and the next day he gonna have a word with you.
He gonna chase you to that cafeteria though. That was it.
He throw them keys at you too.
But again, We talking about a male. You ain't got to put your hands on nobody. It's just the strength that comes from it. I'm gonna put Sherry on the spot for a minute. Sherry, because I can't ask more and Mark. Sherry, when you were a good man and he say things a certain way, do you just not go ahead and do it? He ain't got to put his hands on you. You know what he mean business, don't you?
Oh yeah, because I'm one of them women that I need him to give me that look. Be like, all right, go sit your ass down somewhere now.
That's universal, Mark.
Yeah.
When let me clarify this now. Not when a man, not when the man. When the man does it, everything changes. Everything changes. You can't just put a dude in there and think he gonna get it. Because the dude who coming there saying, I need you guys to work with me, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Here's the thing, DVP. When we were in school, our teachers gave us a look and we got right. Female teachers will look at you, hey,
and Mark,
you tighten
when we
up.
was in school, think about this. How many female principals did we have back then?
Now, I never had one.
Why? Because at the end of the day,
I had Dr. Johnson at Turner Middle School.
Right. When somebody needed to talk to us, they wanted to be somebody who looked like they could pick us up and drag us, even if he was fat and dumping. And that garnered respect that females naturally just didn't get. So it ain't about what the school will allow, because Dr. Follins at Thero, Cabbage Head, them, then none of them put their hands on nobody ever, never. We didn't get hit in school.
We was a different breed then. It was different. It was a different time.
So let me say this other thing. So I was in this class, and we had 3 teachers. Two were black, one was white. White lady didn't intimidate me at all. One of the black women, she was nice. She didn't intimidate me at all. But I had one, you know what all she had to do? I don't know why this shit bothered me or caused me to act right. All she did was look over the top of her glasses. Sit your ass. Well, she didn't say sit your ass. Sit down. Yeah, just like that. Yep.
But you knew to sit your ass down.
I did, yeah. So I'm just saying, man, it's like
we were different because it was consequences for our actions then. Now ain't no consequences.
On the consequence, you were gonna get suspended. You weren't gonna get hit. All they could do was suspend you. That's all we
but
do.
You
That's
got
all.
suspended.
They can still get suspended, Mark.
You know how much you have to do to get suspended?
Yeah, hardly nothing.
No, hell no. You got to damn near you can whoop a teacher ass and get 3 days in the streets. You be right back in 3 days.
Listen, because again, we're such a sissy culture. We keep wanting to give everybody a 3rd and 4th chance. That's because you got kids raising kids. And to take that from them, all you got to do is put the right people in place. But see, like everything else, we're going to a kinder, gentler society. But I guarantee you, I'm telling you now, I'm at Mays with 12th graders. I ain't put my hands on them, one of them boys. One of them was selling drugs. I said, dude, if I hear you selling drugs one more time, you out the program.
And I get that. But here's the thing. I know
he still sell drugs. He just don't do it at the school no more. I ain't got to put my hands on him. I ain't got to throw. Now, I ain't gonna lie. All I did was touch him on the shoulder and told him what was gonna happen, which was that you ain't gonna be part of this program. Every kid values something. See, and when we got to this thing of hitting kids, if we're honest about it, every time that we got hit, it didn't change our behavior. It made us be slicker. Hitting them is not the way to go. All you do is create a better criminal, because you can only hit me so many times, then the hits don't work. Look, and again, I'm gonna switch subjects. Women who've been in domestic violence, they've been hit a bunch of times. Hitting does not change nothing. At some point, you have to formulate a plan that will work with them. So, which means you got to talk to them, which is why IEP is cute and cool. But if you got it with people who are more interested in the plan than the person, IEP will never work. You have to attack the person. When my kids did something wrong, we discussed the punishment, because what worked for my son didn't work for my daughter. My daughter wanted nothing more than to please me. She hated seeing me upset with her. My son was a little different. He was ready for me to hit him. I hit him one time. After that, we just started attacking what I knew he liked. Then once I knew what he liked, guess what? He shaped up, because if all I'm thinking is, oh, I can beat him into submission, that ain't never worked. That ain't never ever worked. Ever. When again,
that goes from the difference between a whipping and punishment. When you start taking things away, you just got to know the difference.
The punishment can't fit the crime. It has to fit the person. See,
I agree with you.
My mama put me on punishment one time. Wouldn't let me go outside. Well, I didn't want to go outside no way, so she didn't do nothing for me. All she did, I didn't like people then. So now, hey, now that I can't go outside to play, I can blame it on my mama. So that punishment didn't work for me. It was actually great for me. When we take stuff from kids, you take their phone. Well, if they're not on their phone all the time, they don't care.
It don't happen.
But I'll just take your electronic. You got some kids now that don't care nothing about phones. You got some who care about social media. You got to know what works for them, and you have to attack something that works for them. We can't keep putting a cookie cutter thing on everything. You know, well,
I agree with you.
What I got to do to get Mo to act right? Well, I'm going to tase him twice. Well, he done got used to the taser. The taser ain't nothing. He know he got to ride this for 5 seconds. He going to sit there and shake his head. As soon as I turn my back, he playing something else because that ain't working for him. I got to find out what he like. So Mo like doing research. So you know what? I need to give Mo something special. Mark, you the best example. Remember when I told you to do that thing on Kwanzaa? How you jumped at that?
Yeah.
See, because that's what you like doing. See, because at first you was like, what? And then you jumped into it. You got to know what make people want to do stuff. And then you use that to your advantage as opposed to trying to force them into what you think is important. And that's what we keep messing with kids in the school system.
So let me just add something to that, because this thing is convoluted. I'm about to convolute it some more, but there's also external factors that have an impact on that. You know, like I agree with you, DVP. You can find something the kid likes, but then there's also these external factors that play a role in whether or not the corrective action that you applying to the kid is going to work. You know, so like if you punish him, then he goes back outside and the environment's the same. You got the same gangs, you got the same friends, you got the same everything out there. God damn it, he gonna be the same person in about 2 days, and then you have to go right through your regimen again.
And I'm gonna disagree with that. You have to know the kid came from the same hood as all my friends came up. I didn't want to stay in the hood, so what worked for them wasn't gonna work for me. You have to know them individually. Some people you ain't gonna never get them out the street. You gotta accept that L. See, we keep trying to save everybody. We gotta stop trying to save everybody. One of my people said it to me best. Hospitals don't even try to save everybody. Why are we doing it? You pick them. What do we talk about with this show? I don't care who don't watch. The people who come to the show want to hear what we gotta say. That's all I'm concerned about. I don't care about people who don't watch the show. They're not my issue. When I'm doing stuff, the people who want to hear what I gotta say, they're gonna ask questions. I don't bother the ones that don't want it. When I do the mentoring, I done kick kids out because they were wasting my time and they were wasting the time of other kids. And the kids was like, yo, man, that dude right there, he killing our time. You spending so much time dealing with him, you're ignoring us. So guess what? I started getting rid of the super problem kids. They were like, well, he needs some help. You're right, he just don't need it from me. Because I got 5 who need me. Them the 5 I want. I ain't worried about this one. I can get these 5 because they want what I got. This 6th one, hey, you might as well go and get him an EF number because he's going to jail. That's what he want to do with his life. I'm not finna try to stop him. Just say that 3 out of these 10 kids is going to jail, but these 7 that don't want to go, let me deal with these 7. And that's what we got to understand. We can't save everybody. Some are just going to be lost causes. Mark, Mo, y'all ain't no different from me. Why y'all here? We could have all picked the street light. Hell, if we're honest, we probably all did pick some street light, but at some point we realized that ain't what we wanted to keep doing. And whether it was because of situation, external circumstances, i.e. a good woman who made us give up a different life, we found something that made us pick something better and something different. See, I stopped committing crime when I tried to tell my mom a lie, because I had never lied to my mom about nothing real. And she asked me one day, was I doing something? With straight as her faces, I said, no, ma'am. 2 days later, I joined the Air Force because I knew I had to get out of the situation. Because I didn't like doing that to her. That was my world. That was what made me change. Because if she would have never asked me that, I would have kept going down that same path. But she had the courage to confront me.
I'll say in my case, oh, go ahead. I was just going to say in my case, I think it was those extension cord whippings. That shit hurt. Yeah. Yeah. That helped me get my mind right.
But see, and this is why I'm so against whoopings, beatings, all that, because I can't beat you and tell you I love you, then get mad when the cops beat you up. Because they gonna say it's the same type of love. It ain't. So I don't ever want to associate. When I did the question, Who got beat? Who got a whooping by their parents? Tell me at what moment you felt love while you was getting a whooping. Everybody said the same thing. They didn't. They tried to justify what their parents did. Oh, they did it out of love, which was not my question. My question was, when did you feel love while getting beat?
Yeah.
Nobody felt love. Nobody.
None.
Because it doesn't exist. Because all we teaching people is, well, I love Sherry, so let me punch you in the face. Sherry, you know I did this because I love you, because that's what love is. Love is violent.
He only hit me because he loved me.
Hey, Sherry gonna stab you. Don't do that.
But no, because we
She in the military. She got plenty guns.
But we keep teaching that violence is love, and it's not. Violence is a lack of control by an adult. When we whoop kids, everybody who got a whooping, what's the number one thing to help you got a whooping? Your parents were out of control because they were pissed. They were pissed. There were no instructive beatings where you're going to get 3 lashes, and the first one is going to be at 80%, the second one's going to be at 90%, and the third one's going to be at 100%. So we can work up. No, you got beat because they was upset. We beat kids because we're upset. So what are we teaching them? When you upset, dominate.
I don't know if you get an ass whooping because they upset. I just think it's just corrective.
What did it correct, Mark? Who got ass whooping and changed what they was doing?
No, hey, matter of fact,
I did.
Ass whoopings that stopped me from doing things that I was doing.
I mean, you get Mark.
Hold on now, because matter of fact, I had a brother. The whippings made his ass worse. In prison for life now. So you got to know who you're dealing with. You know, that's all I'm gonna say. And then for me, I ain't want to get no whippings. I ain't in prison, but I ain't want to. I got them, but I did something different. So it just you never know what the outcome gonna be.
But what 80% of dudes in jail been whooped. It didn't change nothing. It just makes you be slicker. You gotta have a mental plan for them that affects something that they like.
I think that, like when it comes to kids, like my kids, my daughter, I used to beat her down, like grabbing her chest, and I used to put it on her. But my son, all I had to do was talk to him. It was like, hey, don't do this. And the reason you are not supposed to do that is because this could happen. And he never made the same mistake twice. Now, my daughter, she was, Mom, can I just get the whooping? She was immune to it. She rather had a whooping rather than hear me talk. Ooh. So I think that, I think that it depends on the child. It's not a one size fits all. That's one thing I learned as a parent.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Because all my brothers, we all reacted a different way, so.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
You can raise kids with the same rules in the same house, and they all still gonna turn out different.
Because they were all different to begin with, so you can't treat them the same. But yeah, the first whooping is the only one that's gonna do anything. If that don't change them, they ain't gonna change. You just teach them to accept abuse. That's it. You making them stronger. Oh, man, I can take these licks. But can you take this? Can you take this? You just gotta find you got to be a good parent and find out what it takes to motivate your own child. You can't leave it to the school system. You can't leave it to the cops. You can't leave it to the drug dealers. You got to find out what motivates your kids. And once you find out who they look up to, you got to use that to your advantage. But we too many times we want them to be like, if you talk, you got to have your microphone on. Too many times we train kids like we do love languages. We want them to learn the way we thought we learned. But most of us didn't learn that from whoopings. Like I said, we might learn we didn't want another one, but it didn't really change our behavior. You had to want success. And sometimes we got to let these kids see success. That's one of the greatest things about Atlanta. You can let black kids see black people doing great stuff, so they don't have to be thinking that they're doomed to a life of poverty. In these other cities, black people may not ever see regular black people in their neighborhood. They got to go uptown, so they can't relate to that. In Atlanta, Mark, you from here, I had a black doctor, I had a black dentist, I had a black optometrist. All my doctors were black for the longest. And we didn't have to go nowhere special. You don't get that in other places. You can get that right here.
Sure.
Cherry, who you talking trash to? Because you're talking a bunch of trash, Cherry, but your mic muted. Who you talking trash to? You making the face and everything.
No, I'm looking at somebody said whoopings is a slave mentality, just like eating chitlins and pig feet. So say if you get away from slave tactics, you will grow and expand the mind. Oh, that was funny. Okay. But what I was saying to you, DVP, is that whoopings did make me like, I knew I didn't want no whoopings. So I knew that whatever I got a whooping for, it wasn't never the same thing. It was always something different. So I didn't do the same thing over because I knew a whooping would come and I didn't want it. So,
but you kept getting whooping, Sherry. That's because you hard-headed.
I know.
See,
I was, but but it wasn't the same thing though. It wasn't the same thing.
It don't. That's why God have been in tasers. It don't take one time with that taser. I told my kids I got a taser in the hammer. I'm gonna tase you when you stand up. I'm gonna hit you with that hammer. Try me twice. Try me twice.
Yeah, damn, B. I think that sometimes whippings can be corrective behavior. And on the flip side, it does make you a better criminal because you are going to be mindful of the things that you're doing. But sometimes it corrects you from doing that wrong thing. Now, the next wrong thing that you do, you may be slicker with it, but
Froze up?
Yeah, but what? Like that was a cliffhanger.
But I'm froze. That's what it is. But I'm froze, yo.
But yeah, I mean, we got to get back to taking what's ours and stop waiting for it to happen. We got to quit making excuses. Because I'm telling you firsthand, I see how boys and girls react at school when there are men around. When there are men around, they don't have to be big, they don't have to be grabbing, just that presence. Like I say, at every strip club I ever worked at, all the successful ones got a man for the house mom. Because a man can tell the women to get out on the floor, the women not finna give him sass back. When a woman say that, you're not my mama, you're not this, you're not that. It's just a whole different mentality. We got to get that back. Even some of you little knucklehead boys that come in this church, I say something to them, some respond, some don't. You know what I do? I stop talking to the ones that don't because I realize what path they want to take. But the ones who want it, I'm here for it. And again, we got to remember, we in hospitals. It ain't our job to save everybody. And sometimes you can't even save the ones you want to. You can only save the ones that want to be saved. Sherry got classmates that was probably smarter than her and doing better, but at the end of the day, that was pure luck because once they got out of school, they went down another hill because they didn't want that. They got lucky in school. We got ones who we thought would have been drug dealers and criminals, and they doing okay. They might not be the greatest, but something clicked in them that they didn't want to keep living that same thing. We got to start identifying those people and have people ready for them. Think about if we would have had some truly good mentors. Think about this. We all was in high school at one point. If somebody would have came to your high school when you were in 11th or 12th grade and told you, hey, y'all should really think about going to tech school and working for a company. If you go to a tech school and get a job at a company, or better yet, go to the military. At 18, you can do 20 years in the military, retire at 38 and get a check for the rest of your life. And if you still want to work with the military, you can get your job at 38 and go work at the post office until you 58. Now you got 2 government checks before you 60. Nobody ever gave us the cheat code. We keep chasing money. And I tell people, money is cute. But if you keep getting jobs, you're going to have to work your whole life or be lucky enough to save up enough money. When you get a career, it comes with a clock. You got to just get to what that clock say. And what Sherry say, she retiring in 2 years. There's a window. But if all you want to be is a Walmart cashier, yeah. If all you keep one of these other little pretty jobs, you can be in IT and ain't knocking nobody in IT. But as you keep bouncing from company to company to company, you better be saving a lot of money because you're not building up nothing towards your retirement. I retired at 40.
You got a 401k because your 401k typically transfers.
But I was lucky. I retired at 44, full benefits. I'm like, man. I'm looking at my friends who working 50, 60, telling me they got 10 more years. I'm like, what y'all doing? Because when I was the sheriff's department at 15 years, I got 3 job offers to go to another agency. And I was thinking about them because they was going to give me a promotion, give me some good money. And I asked that question. I got to start back at 1. So now I got to work 20 more years to get these benefits. Well, with this company, I only got to be here 5 more. What do I want? Do I want 5 more years and check for the rest of my life, or do I want to start over at 0 and do this again for 20 more years and hope don't nobody try to buy me out again? But we don't get this. So now, if we had people who came in and told us how to be successful and be through working in our early 40s, think about what we could be. When I tell kids, get you a job at Burger King. Oh, I want a Burger King. Man, Burger King is a career. You start off doing the fries. You get moved to the burgers. You get moved to the cashier. They send you to Burger King college. At 20 years, the manager at Burger King making 35. You make district manager, you making 52. You make regional manager, you making 75. They promote from within. They don't bring people in. These people ain't even been to college. They went to Hamburger College and making 75 a year at Burger King. I'm sorry, McDonald's. And I know about McDonald's because I did security for them. $75,000 a year at McDonald's and no college education whatsoever, except they went to Hamburger College, and that's a real thing. Hamburger College.
Well, you know what, DVP, that's not even the best part of it. The best part of it is that that job is sustainable. It's going to be there forever. Yeah. It's never going out of business, ever. So you got a job. A lot of these jobs, there's a lot of turnover. Some of these jobs.
You got a career. And that's the word I keep trying to get my kids understand now. There's jobs in their career. Get a career if you can. A career gives you it gives you a definite number. It's like I tell people, we talked about when people say I want to be rich. Well, what's rich? You got to give me a number, because is rich $1,000 or is rich 100,000? Without a number, you can't ever get there. When you have a career, they tell you in orientation what the magic number is. Oh, if you get here, or if your number this equal this, that's when you can stop. So you know what your destination is. You ain't just running to be running. You pacing yourself to get there. You pacing yourself to get there. Whereas if you go to college, and I ain't knocking college, but the first thing college do is put you in debt. The second thing college do is put you in debt. The third thing college do is have you taking classes that ain't got nothing to do what you want to do, because they need the money. You don't do that at trade school. Sheridan do that in the military. Every class they sent Sarah to in the military, every class that I went to in the military was based on my job or based on being a leader. I didn't have to take no art classes or no upside down underwater basket weaving classes, because they don't do nothing. But people are like, I don't want to go to the military, so you don't want this free career. You don't want this free with benefits galore. Man, I don't know how you could be a sheriff, because between being a sheriff and being a military, you know how easy it is for me to get a house? And the first thing they keep saying, oh, you ain't even got to put no money down. What? You gotta put no money down? What? How many careers gonna ever let you do that? No money down, just cause.
I think like these kids nowadays, being a influencer is this big thing, and they look at that as a career, and that blows my mind, because I'm like, they're not thinking of, which at 20 I wasn't thinking about retirement either, but I teach my son about retirement, having a career, and the biggest thing is that you want to make sure that when you can't work anymore, you got something that's going to sustain you. So how do you, I would say, reach those kids who think TikToking and Facebooking and all of that, the podcast, all of that. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's fun. I do TikToks, all that, but that ain't what's sustaining me. And I don't think that it's going to sustain these kids who think they want to just be an influencer. How can you influence somebody? You ain't been nowhere. You ain't did nothing. You ain't but 20.
Well, let me say this, Sherry, to that, because being an influencer, it has helped some people. You got to think about it. When you start looking at Jess Hilarious, DC Young Fly, some of those people started as just influencers, just TikToking and Facebooking and Divine back then, and then it blew up for them. It's not a catch-all for everybody. You feel what I'm saying? And they don't grasp that concept. They see it, but they don't understand the work and the grind that you have to put in to be an influencer. Now, me, I TikTok. When I thought about it one day, I was like, oh, TikTok. They say I'm monetized on TikTok. Oh, I'm monetized. Let me make this money. Then that shit started feeling like a job. And it ain't for me. That's like having a whole second full-time job. to be an influencer, you got to damn near be on that app, and you got to be multiple apps, and you're posting constantly all day to where that's a job. So now to the people that want to do it, it's a job. Because like I say, you got to be posting constantly all day, every day, just as if you had a job. It works for some people it don't work. It didn't work for me.
I mean, I'm saying I get that it works, but I guess my question is, what about when you can't TikTok no more? Because see, I'm one of those people that I always think about what's the worst that could happen to me? And whatever the worst is that can happen to me, do I have a plan? I mean, the worst that can happen is that I die, right? That's the worst. So, you know, I do have.
Do you have a plan for death? I just want to know right quick. You got a plan?
I
for death?
do. I have it already written up. What I want, what picture I want on my obit, all of that.
Hold on,
So,
you got your high school prom picture for your obituary?
No, but it's one of my favorite old pictures when I was about 19. I was reading.
Well, why you don't put it in there? But here's the thing. Yeah, they don't think about it. Nobody really thinks about dying anymore or the future. As long as they got a voice, they can be heard and they can be an influencer. You feel what I'm saying? You just got to find your niche and you got to run with it. Like I say, it became work.
Mark. This is what I'm talking about, though. Just like with football players when they go to college, right? Yes, that's their goal to become NFL, whatever. But everybody ain't gonna be in the NFL. Everybody just not gonna make the NFL, right? So while you're in school, get your education, get you a degree, and have you something to fall back on. Is what I'm saying. It's like, don't have like that tunnel vision where, you know, I'm gonna always be able to walk. I'm gonna always be able to talk. I'm gonna always be able to do this, that, and the other. You get what I'm saying? So what's your backup plan?
Then I think that's the point. We keep screaming backup plans when I think you should go all in on your plan A. You should go all in on your plan A and hell. Either I'm what that old saying is, I'm gonna shoot for the moon, but I'm gonna land amongst the stars. So you should go all in. That plan B mean my plan A, I ain't gonna. Having a plan B means that I'm not gonna successfully reach my plan A.
No. You gotta be comprehensive. You gotta be comprehensive.
Question. In the military, what do they teach us? You got to do what? Have what?
He's on mute.
He's on mute.
Yes. So I was just gonna say,
in the military, it's called courses of action, right? So you present 3 courses of action to successfully meet your mission, right?
Okay.
So my thing is, whatever your mission is, if your mission is to be an influencer, have a course of action for, you know, if I'm going all in on plan A, but then let's say, okay, I'm low on money, so I need to do this. So this might be my plan B to get there. You know, it's always the point of it is the courses of action are really just for you, different ways that you can meet the mission. You get what I'm saying? So to
let me ask you this, Sherry. That's your question.
Sure.
Did you always want to go into the military? Was that always your plan?
No.
Okay. So once you got in the military, did you think of a plan B?
Well, I already had a plan A already, so that was just a plan B. The military just kind of snuck up on me. I was working at Georgia State. I had done graduated college and all of that, and I wanted to be a police officer. And I did do policing or whatever, but how I end up in the military, I went to a job fair, and these military people were like, you know, hey, we got a program where they'll pay back your student loans. Okay. That's all I needed to hear. You know what I mean? And so I joined, and that's what made me join. But you know, when you
joined, did you come up with a plan B?
Yeah, my plan B was that's where I'm gonna get my retirement from.
That's your plan. That's still the same plan.
My plan A was be a police officer and just retire doing that.
I get that. So once you got in the military, you ain't think about a plan B.
No, I didn't need one.
So the same with people that want to be an influencer. I'm gonna do an influencer. I don't need a plan B.
Well, see, I don't need a plan B because any other plan that may come about, I got it taken care of. If I was to get right now, if I was to fall and break my back, right? Because of the benefits that I got, the Army gonna fix my back. I'm gonna still be getting paid. They're gonna put me through rehab. I'm still gonna get paid. And if I medically retire, I'm still gonna get paid.
Just because you with the military.
So, but I'm just saying, my point is that wasn't my plan initially. My initial plan was to do the police route, but it became more beneficial when I decided when I joined the military.
So understand that these young people, they gonna have their plan A to be an influencer, and if that don't work, then they'll find a plan B. But like you say, military was never on your radar until you went to this job. Until you went to this job fair. So you ain't particularly have a plan B. You just stumbled across it.
Well, let me back up now. When I was 19, I did go to MEPS, but what happened was the Desert Storm started because I had swore in once.
Yeah, right.
I know, right? And then I walked out. I walked out. So when I actually really joined it, I was 29. So
and I'm with you. So I look at it as this. Yes, people should have a plan A, plan B, but people go all in on their plan A. And if it don't work out, then I'm gonna get the plan B. But I need to put my main focus and everything into this. Because believe it or not, these kids that think they going to the NFL, damn near every kid I ever coached thought they were going to the NFL. And only 1% make it to the NFL. They ain't had no plan B.
Let me ask you a real question, Mark.
Okay.
When they got this plan A, how many of them really go in on it? Most of them just hoping. Because when you sit down and show them the numbers, and we did this with kids in football. Are you the top kid at your school? If you ain't the top kid at your school, your chances are already low. So forget being a top kid in your state or your city. Because everybody think they're gonna make it. I'm gonna be that one. You know, and people talk about Jordan. Oh yeah, Jordan didn't make it in. But guess what? Jordan kept working. What work have you put forth? And that's what you got to challenge them. Because I got a kid now who does graphic arts, and he's actually pretty good for his age group. But for you to be the best, you got to be better than pretty good at your age group. You need to be awesome at your age group to make it. And too many times, you know, I hear kids say, you know, oh yeah, I appreciate my parents. They told me I could do anything, and that's a lie. You can do anything if you're willing to work for it, but you can't be a fraud. So we need to start giving kids realistic expectations and making them put the work in, because without the work, it's all just a dream. It's all just a dream. And you know, parents, we don't want to poop on our kids' sunshine. But hey, you know, my son's like, Dad, I think I want to do this. I want to play football. Dude, you got the coordination skills of a blind monkey. You better be smart, player.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. And I'm gonna tell you this, DVP. This is a true story. I took my son on a cruise. He was maybe 8, 9, 10, and he was hanging out in the kids zone, and they had a talent show one day on the boat. And he came. He was like, "I'm performing the talent show." All right, what you doing? He said, "I'm gonna sing." I'm like, "Nigga, you can't sing, but I'm gonna perform." And you know, me being an athlete, you need to be in sports. But he said he gonna perform. Cool. So we go to the talent show, and no, my son still to this day can't sing. But the way he commanded the crowd with his singing and dancing, I was like, oh my God, you don't have to play a sport in your life. You feel what I'm saying? This one I was big on, my son should be playing a sport. But when he showed me that performing arts was his thing, I looked at it. You can't sing, but he commanded the crowd. So I was like, okay, cool. Now my son is 6'4", and I hate that he ain't play no goddamn sports, but I still support that he's going to be into videography and performing arts and all of that thing. So you meet these kids, but as parents, as a coach, I met a parent. Her son was about 5'8". He played middle linebacker. He ran about a 5'2" in the 40. And she told us, the best y'all can do for my son is Clark. Man, your son is short as a motherfucker. He's slow as hell. What else we gonna do for him? But that's the parent thinking that the NFL is for her kid, and that's not where her kid was supposed to go. And so the parents are stealing these kids. I'm in youth football groups now, and you're going there and you look at best 5U quarterback in the country. This motherfucker can't throw. All he doing is handing out right and left, and you probably got a wristband on his arm to show him which way to go.
Mark, hold that thought for a minute, Mark. Mo need to leave. I need him to say something about his group before he go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so everybody listening, if you're interested, we have the Read Along Club, and in the Read Along Club, we read. Right now, we're reading a book about policing in America, and it's this great dialogue. We have law enforcement in the group. We have individuals who have suffered from police violence in the group. So we're all getting together. We're all reading, and we're all learning. We're all having discussion and closing the gap between citizens and policing. If you're interested in joining that, all you got to do is email me at readalongclub@gmail.com. I'll say it again, readalongclub@gmail.com. So, join. We're having somebody put it in the chat. So look in the chat. So far it's been very beneficial. I've been getting feedback. Mark and DVP are in the group. They can speak for themselves on what they think about it. But I highly recommend it. I think if it was available when I was uneducated in this field, I definitely would have done it. But you guys can speak for yourself.
Well, I'm gonna say something real quick. I enjoy the group because it speaks about, we're having DVP and Jomo in there. It speaks about policies versus my feelings, how I should feel and what the law says and what policy says. So it's great to learn the difference so you'll be in the know.
And Yolanda, if you still here, I'll make send a personal invite you. Yolanda used to be a district attorney. And I want her to come in so she can give a little insight. So Yolanda, I'm gonna reach out to you after this is over with, because I think you could give a lot more insight on some of the things than we can as cops, just because you at that level. But I just wanted to get Mo to get that out before he had to leave.
All right, Mo.
Great show, man.
Right,
Excellent show. Nice seeing you, Sherry. This is a great show, and I'll see y'all next time.
All right, Mo.
So I think Cinnamon just volunteered to get us somebody who can talk about great financial planning. We're gonna get them on. But yeah, what Mark was saying, and one reason I stopped coaching was because of parents. Because parents have a greater expectation of their non-talented kids than reality allows. You know, I did security work, and I met people that's like, hey man, you at all the clubs, you think you can get DJ to play some of my music? I said, well, let me listen to it. It ain't mine, but I know what people like. I heard some horrible music.
Shit was trying.
You doing this, man? Can you get DJ at the club? No, have you listened to this music? You his mama, you like it. It has no beat. I don't understand the words. It sucks. It sucks. Oh man, you just a hater. You're right. I'm hating this music.
And it's okay to hate that music. That shit is trash.
Your kid is not talented. The best he gonna be is a trainer. Now, that ain't saying he can't up his game. And as we look at some of the top athletes, people talk about, oh, Tom Brady was drafted in the 6th round, but Tom Brady was a winner everywhere he went. It was just always somebody who was perceived to be better. He won at Michigan. He won at high school. He won everywhere he went. But because he was always in the top with other people's always in the top. But he still worked harder than everybody else. When you hear people talk about him and Jordan and Kobe, what do everybody say? Their work ethic is second to none. Second to none. The greatest. They didn't just depend on talent because, and Mark knows this. If you give me a talented athlete or somebody who hates losing, give me the guy who hates losing over the talented athlete. The guy who hates losing is going to be a much better competitor because he's going to do whatever it takes. The talented athlete just want to look good for the highlight film. They don't want to get dirty. They don't want to do none of the hard work. They just want to score 30 points. They want to lead league in this. But you ask them to block, you ask them to do some of the dirty work, they ain't trying to hear it. But that kid that hate to lose, that kid that's crying at the end of games because they lost, oh, that one right there got potential. They got potential.
DVP, this is the saying. Hard work trumps talent when talent doesn't put in the hard work. That's it.
And, you know, if they ain't got that in them, to where they wouldn't do all that stuff.
That's it.
We all know talented people who didn't make it past high school.
Mm-hmm.
It was just natural talent that they never worked on. I mean,
and the next one is your aptitude determines your altitude, not your attitude. That means you got to have your attitude determines your aptitude. Your attitude determines your altitude, not your aptitude, which means your attitude, how you put in that work, determines how far you go versus having all the skills in the world. Those are two sayings that I try to live by.
And you know, and that's a truism. And with a lot of these perceived bad kids, there's nothing that's challenging them, because a lot of them, as soon as you challenge them, they turn into different animals. And again, I'm gonna use Mark, and he wasn't a bad kid, but like I said, when I challenged him about Kwanzaa, Mark took to it. I didn't know he was gonna do all he did, but Mark was all in. See, so I know Mark likes a challenge. Mark wants to be educated. And my thing when we're talking to Mark is, don't let me keep telling you stuff. The more you learn and you know it yourself, can't nobody take from you what you know. And that's why when people want to talk about certain things, I tell you, when I'm doing the show, I got 2-3 screens up. So when people say stuff, I can fact check it right quick. Because I'm not just going to go for it because you say it. Because too many times that's what we do. But when you can look up stuff yourself when people talking, now you can have an intelligent conversation. The first couple times, just listen. That's how I got into politics. I started off just listening because I didn't know a lot of stuff. I know how to, as Mark said, I know how to regurgitate what the old people say. But as Tupac said, the old way wasn't working. So we ain't gonna keep doing this. And as I started checking into people and start looking at what they were doing, oh yeah, I almost opened up one of them accounts at Greenwood Trust because Killer Mike said so. Then I did the research. Well, this ain't even a black-owned bank. It's owned by some white people. What?
That hurt. I got to be honest. That hurt my heart too, because I did a little research and like, Greenwood is a tech company. Greenwood is a tech company.
Yeah,
not a bank.
It wasn't even FDIC insured. The company who had them it's like, man, this is so bogus. But they saying telling, black people, we got to invest in ourselves. But you ain't even doing it. I ain't got no use for him. I mean, I ain't saying he a bad dude, but he misled us for money. And too many times people get picked for that, to mislead us so they can get paid because they ain't doing nothing else with it.
I think he has some type of ownership in Greenwood.
Yeah, they gave him a stake. They paid him for having the black people joined up.
With that part, I don't know. I don't know how he got paid.
I'm telling you what I know. Because I did the research, and that's what they're getting their money off of. And we got to look out for those people who are getting paid to lead us astray. And look at what they're leading us to. We talk about the boycotts. And I will never, ever support a Walmart boycott. Every Walmart I've been to got too many black kids working. They got too many old people now who trying to supplement their income. So when we boycott them, who we hurting? We hurting our own people. The boycotts are, we got to start shopping local. It sounds cute. Walmart selling these crackers for $1. At the corner store, they selling for $1.45. Well, my dollar don't stretch this far. I can't afford to spend $1.45 when I can get these cookies down the street for $1. And so sometimes we say stuff because it's the right thing, but it's bogus. And we are the greatest leaders of Australianism on the planet. The government ain't got to mislead us. We'll do it to ourselves over and over and over again. We'll criticize Sheriff for being in the military. She 2 years from retirement. I would like to see how many people can say they 2 years from retirement. I want to see how many people can say they 10 years from retirement.
Hey, Sheriff, I ain't going to war for no shit talk president. Fuck a war. I'm just kidding. That's one of my favorite Ghetto Boys songs.
But
I can't say nothing online.
Don't say nothing.
Hey, Sheriff, we're gonna hold that statement for 25 months just for you. 25
Sheriff
months.
Got her BDUs on.
Yeah, in 25 months we're gonna ask you how you feel.
Yeah, do that then. Yeah, definitely.
We gotta do better.
I'm with you though.
And have more honest conversations, and we got to have uncomfortable conversations and start holding people accountable. When they do something that we don't approve of, we got to start acting like they didn't say it. We like, hey, what happened when you said this? We got to ask, what happened? I thought you was going to do this. Instead of letting them get by with it. Well, I didn't. Yeah. You said you were going to tell. If it didn't work, tell us why. As I say, people can say people say they want to about Biden. He got the college thing done, and then he got opposed. But he had lots of people got their stuff, and
A lot of people got some money for theirs. I agree. He did get some things done.
Obama got some things done, but so many people want to talk about what he didn't do because we asked him to do too much. He couldn't do all of that because we never gave him the tools to do it. But we'll keep blaming him because we don't know how government works. So he the president, we believe that he's the most powerful man on the planet. Well, he's not. He just ain't a renegade like the current president, but the president got a system of checks and balances too. Like every president before him. Everybody followed the same rule except for one. And
this bastard ain't got no goddamn rules and checks and balances in front of him.
But you remember what he want to do. He did what most people want to do. He led with fear. People were afraid of him. But see, you see the Republicans changing now because now society is against him. Even, he was at 56% at one time. But he started losing his fan base with this war and some other crazy stuff he started doing because to want something that we don't want to accept as a true reality in life. And we ain't got to like it, I don't care. Black people, we wouldn't have been nowhere if it wouldn't have been for conscientious white people putting their money where their mouth is. The white people was the ones who started saying, hey, slavery is wrong. We got to stop doing this. If not for them, we still be in slavery. So while we want to hate white people, but we keep saying, we ain't got the power to do this. You're right, we ain't, because we won't stick together. When they don't want something and they stand behind us, we stand stronger. We got to stop talking so bad about all of them. White people like black people. We got some good ones, got some bad ones. We got to know who is who and stick with the ones that mean us well. And the ones that don't, white or black, hey, ditch them. Ditch them. I ain't seen nothing good yet that Al Sharpton has done. I ain't seen nothing good yet that Umar Johnson has done. I ain't seen it. But we supposed to support them because they black.
No, don't leave out Ben Chunk.
Well, you don't even like him.
I don't either. I don't like all three of them you named because all of them is fucking check chasers, and I don't know who named Ben Trump or goddamn civil rights attorney, but he ain't doing shit for civil rights.
Go look at his Facebook page and just ask yourself, why don't he have no commercial with none of his clients endorsing him? Not one.
It's funny because I had somebody running in Clayton County. A judge sent me a text talking about I'm supported by Ben Chunk. I responded to that text and said, I don't support that son of a bitch, so I'm not voting for you.
But it's 7:57. So Sherry, you know how we do this. We gentlemen on this show. Give us some closing thoughts, and we glad to have you here.
Some closing thoughts. Well, I would say that everybody has their own opinions, and it's good having hard conversations. And I like the fact that even though we don't agree on it's not even a lot. I think that even though we don't agree on some parts of what each other say, but there are a lot of parts that we do agree on. So I think we're on the right track. I enjoy listening to you guys talk. You all make some valid points. Unfortunately, because I am in the military, I'm not allowed to say certain things. So when y'all be politicking, I sometimes just kind of listen. But if you call me on the phone, I'll tell you some stuff. So, but other than that, the comments, I think this Keep It Up fam person had me cracking up. The chitlins and all of that, they funny. But yeah, so I would just say, hey, y'all be blessed, stay vigilant, and take care of each other. That's it.
What you got for us, Mark?
Hey man, I'm with her. Keep it up. Hey man, keep coming in because your comments are needed. We definitely open for discussion. Yeah, Sherry, I get it. You can't respond to everything because of your job. I work for myself, so fire me. Fuck it. I won't fire myself. So I understand. But I love the diverse conversation that we have, man. I love it. Because we shouldn't have different point of view. We all different points in our lives. So Let's keep having this open dialect, random thoughts, and let's keep it coming. Sherry, what's your TikTok? I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna be, since you can be an influencer.
It's brown eyes, and that's with a Z on the end. 55.
Okay, I'm gonna follow you.
I just be cutting up now. I don't be doing, you know.
Hey, I'm glad y'all decided to spend a little time with us. You know, we're gonna do what we do. We're gonna have some uncomfortable conversations. We're gonna learn a little bit. We're gonna have fun in the process. If y'all got something y'all want to talk about, feel free to inbox one of us, or and we'll make it happen. Like I said, we're gonna talk about some more finances. We're gonna have some financial plans, but we can't keep doing the same old and complaining and not having solutions. Anybody, one of the best lessons I learned was one of my clients told me, Darren, don't come to me with a complaint. If you don't have a solution, keep it to yourself, because everybody can tell me what's wrong. Can't nobody tell me how to fix it. I'm tired of hearing people tell me what's wrong. So we try to come up with ways to fix certain things. That's the whole point of this. And having so many different perspectives, because it ain't one way you can fix it. Something should resonate with somebody, and you pick the way that work for you. Secondly, again, remember, you can't save everybody. Pick the ones who want it and work with them. Trying to save everybody is going to make you tired. It's going to make you feel like you're losing, because you can't save the ones that don't want to be, and it's okay. Just go with the ones that do want to be. And last thing I'm going to say is, remember, freedom of speech is not without freedom of consequences. So be careful what you say, because words come with action. I don't care what the Constitution say. They be able to stand 10 toes down. So y'all know what it is, right? Until next week. Oh, y'all can't even see me. Until next week, peace, popcorn, and chicken grease, and I'm out.
Next week.